Okay, so let's dive into one of the biggest, most fascinating paradoxes in the entire history of philosophy. We're talking about Socrates, right? A thinker whose ideas literally shaped Western civilization. But for a man with so much to say, he did something, well, incredibly strange. He never wrote a single word of it down.
And that, right there, is the huge mystery we're unpacking today. How can a name that echoes through millennia, a mind that influenced countless generations, have left behind zero written records? I mean, it seems impossible. But it wasn't an accident. It was a deliberate choice. And understanding why he made that choice is the key to understanding the man himself.
And when we say nothing, we mean nothing. No books, no personal letters, not even a single scribbled-down treatise. His entire massive legacy was built on one thing and one thing only: live human conversation. You see, for Socrates, real wisdom couldn't be captured in ink. It had to breathe, it had to be challenged, and it had to evolve through real back-and-forth dialogue.
So why? Why this intense commitment to just the spoken word? Well, this brings us to his powerful critique of writing itself, which he saw not as a tool for spreading wisdom, but as a kind of trap for it.
This is the absolute heart of his argument. The moment you write an idea down, it becomes fixed, it's static, and in his view, it's basically dead. It loses its ability to adapt, to grow, to be questioned. It becomes an artifact of thinking, not the living act of thinking itself.
Think about it. He saw this massive difference between the two. A written text is a monologue, right? It can't answer your questions. It can't defend its position if you challenge it. It just sits there, repeating the same words over and over. But a spoken conversation? Oh, that's a living process. It's a dynamic dance of ideas that can respond and clarify and evolve in real time. For Socrates, that was the only place where true philosophy could actually happen.
And this belief in living dialogue directly shaped his totally unique approach to teaching. He didn't see himself as some lecturer just pouring knowledge into empty heads. No, he saw himself as something much more profound. He called his method maieudex, which is the ancient Greek art of midwifery. And this metaphor is just brilliant. It perfectly illustrates his whole philosophy. He believed the truth wasn't something he could give you. Nope, it was already inside you, just waiting to be born. His job, through very careful questioning and conversation, was to simply help you deliver your own understanding into the world.
And it all started with questions just like this one. Simple, direct, and incredibly personal. This was never about winning an argument. It was about sparking a journey of self-discovery. A book can't ask you if you truly know yourself, and then actually guide you through the process of finding the answer. Only another person, engaged in a real dialogue, can do that. Now, to really get a handle on Socrates' position, we have to look at his philosophical rivals, the sophists. These guys were the celebrity intellectuals of ancient Athens, and their whole approach to knowledge could not have been more different from his. You see, the sophists were masters of rhetoric. They literally sold their skills to the highest bidder. They taught people how to win arguments, how to persuade a crowd, whether what they were saying was true or not. For them, knowledge was a product, a commodity to be packaged and sold. Socrates found this whole idea repulsive. He believed wisdom was a lifelong pursuit, not something you could buy, and that it had to be awakened from within through reason, never purchased from without. So, this brings us right back to our original question. If Socrates wrote nothing down, how on earth do we know any of this? Well, the answer lies with his most brilliant student, a man who made a choice that single-handedly saved Socratic philosophy from vanishing forever. The irony here is just beautiful, isn't it? The philosopher who completely rejected writing was immortalized by it. But here's the thing, Plato didn't just write about Socrates, he did something much, much more clever. See, Plato didn't write essays or boring treatises, he wrote dialogues. He masterfully recreated the living, breathing conversations his teacher was famous for. By doing this, he preserved not just the ideas, but the very method itself. So when we read Plato's dialogues today, we're not just reading a summary of what Socrates thought. We're actually witnessing the Socratic method in action, turning his master silence into a kind of eternal speech.
So what's the ultimate takeaway here? What's the final lesson we can pull from a philosopher who chose silence? From a man who left us no written work at all? Well, his true legacy isn't a set of answers. It's not some rigid doctrine we have to memorize. His gift to the world, his real legacy, was a method, a way of thinking, of questioning, of examining our own lives. He showed us that the process of asking the questions is often way more valuable than finding the final answer.
In the end, his silence was his most profound statement. It was a testament to his belief that true understanding isn't about having all the answers ready to recite. It's about having the humility to keep asking questions and the wisdom to listen.
And that leaves us with a challenge that feels more relevant now than ever. In a world that's just saturated with text, with tweets, with permanent posts, Socrates forces us to ask ourselves, are we just freezing our thoughts for other people to consume? Or are we actively engaging in the kind of living, breathing dialogue that leads to real wisdom?